What's up, family? This is Chris, and we are Non-Toxic Masculinity. We're sponsored by Fusion Regenerative Therapies of Orlando, Florida's most compassionate and comprehensive functional medicine clinic. They are comprehensive. They do everything from wellness, health coaching, nutrition, hormone optimization, and they have a really badass non-surgical soft tissue injury program. So if you have any knee, shoulder, neck pain, definitely want to contact Fusion Regenerative Therapies. Today I got my boy in the building, Mr. Sam Butler.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
A.K.A. Little Lavroni.
In the house.
What's up, big boy?
What's happening, man?
Hey, man, dude, I am so freaking stoked today. Man, this reminds me back when I was in the 7th grade. I never dated anybody before, and this new chick came to the school. And, man, she was like Farrah Fawcett fine, bro. She was hot.
Nice.
Every dude wanted this chick, man. They start cutting the sleeves off their shirt and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I don't know where I got this from. I got enough courage to write her a note and put it in her book. I said, hey, my name is Chris. Could I get your phone number? And I stuck it in a book bag.
Brave.
And, bro, for me, that was really brave back in the day.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, man, she stuck a note and she gave me her phone number.
No
And I
way.
freaked out and I ran home and hid in the closet. That's how I feel today with our guest, man. She's badass.
Wow.
Bro. She is dope. I've been chasing this guest for a minute. Now, I called her one time after one of our shows and I said, hey, so-and-so, could you be on our show? She said, yeah. And then something came up. She had an emergency guest speaking event. She's very popular, bro. Super popular.
I've heard good things, man.
Badass.
Heard good things.
So anyway, I was so stoked, and I came crashing down. But look, she's here today, and if you don't mind, would you please do the honors of reading the bio of our guest?
I'm going to go ahead and do that, dude. This incredible fireball, a two-time Golf Digest Top 50 golf fitness professional and trainer, has become highly sought after for her unique approach to training that combines nutrition, training, and lifestyle hacks to alter body composition and optimization for metabolism. She found her passion for optimizing men's health working alongside industry-leading medical practitioners, building an authoritative network to empower men with the proper understanding of what true health optimization is. She is founder of the Silverback Summit and Silverback Coaching. Her clientele consists of busy professionals who aspire to become stronger, optimize their health, plus conquer nutrition. She lectures internationally and nationally on various health topics in both the medical and fitness arenas. Ladies and gentlemen, Ali Gilbert.
Yeah, in the building, Ali Gilbert.
Nice.
Men's hormone TRT queen. Bro,
wow.
She's the one and only. Look,
I'm excited.
There's a lot of clinics with a lot of dudes really super smart.
Right.
That could claim to be the king, you know? But there's only one queen, bro.
Listen,
one queen
anytime I see a woman run clinic, I typically go to that.
Hey, she don't run a clinic. She don't run a clinic. She works with a lot of clients, elite level professional clients.
Just a badass.
And she networks with clinics, right?
Nice.
Am I got it right?
Yeah, you got it right.
Yeah. And man,
Well, I'm ready to hear some
man.
stuff. I'm ready to learn something today.
I ain't too proud to say, I follow her like I did Farrah Fawcett, bro. I ain't too proud to say it, man. I'm saying right.
She looks a little better than Farrah Fawcett, bro.
So,
not gonna lie.
Thank you for being on the show, Non-Toxic Masculinity.
Thank you guys for having me. That was quite the introduction.
Yeah. So, what are you doing in town?
I'm here at the Perform Better event over at the Rosen on iDrive. Beautiful place.
Yeah,
Very good place.
I speak every year for Perform Better.
Yeah.
And they have 4 different summits, and one of them happens to be in Orlando.
Well, I'm lucky for us. You're here, and once again, so just give us a little bit of your background. How in the hell did you get to be the queen of male hormones?
I have daddy issues.
I love it.
Nice. See? That's awesome.
It's a fun story. And I say all the time, I'm going to give the short version that always comes out long, but I promise you, I've almost nailed it. Basically, I majored in exercise science, and every exercise science major wants to train athletes.
Right.
So, of course, I graduate, and I'm like, I'm going to go train all the athletes, and then you realize they're either broke, they're a pain in the ass, and there's no money in it. So I'm like, cool. The town I grew up in is in Connecticut, Greenwich, Connecticut, and they have a lot of wealthy individuals.
Sure do.
Wall Street dudes, everything. So there were 9 golf clubs in town.
Yeah.
And I was working at a commercial gym, and a lot of these guys said, "Yeah, I play golf. I'd like to, train for that." I'm like, "Cool. I played soccer in college. I know nothing about golf." So I was like, "Well, let's learn about golf." So I researched and found the Titleist Performance Institute, and they have a golf fitness certification. And I was like, "Well, this is perfect."
Nice.
Went all in on that, and then became the golf fitness specialist. But my entire clientele were just guys. No women really sought out golf fitness. It was more fat loss and stuff for them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So having all male clientele, loving dealing with like the type A personalities, and I'm like, here we are training golfers who can afford to train, have the same drive as athletes. This was really cool. And then the conversation would change from how can I hit it farther to how do I get abs? How do my biceps get a little bigger? What do you think of this supplement? What do you think of this, nutrition? And I'm like, guys don't even talk about this.
Yeah.
Right.
They never go to the doctor unless like something with their dicks, about to
Exactly.
fall off.
Then we gotta go.
100%.
Gotta go after that.
Yeah. So they don't talk about this stuff, and like women socially talk about everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, this is really interesting. So my business coach at the time, Tom Plummer, was like, you've got something here where you're posting about men's hormones, because I was trying to learn everything I could. Stick with that. Don't talk about any female hormone stuff. Just run with that. And so I went all in on men's health, learned as much as I could, started networking with different doctors, learning their process, what they do. And since I've spoken at medical conferences,
Right.
done educational events with different doctors, functional medicine doctors, just understanding what is the protocol and how are guys treated when they seek out hormone replacement. Because for women, it's very socially acceptable. But for a guy to consider testosterone replacement, it's highly stigmatized.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
it is.
And, here we are. That was roughly 2008. And so here we are, 2023.
Wow.
And you mentioned the Silverback Summit, and that is my men's health event that I created because I was like, I need to combine the fitness and the nutrition and the medical in an environment that is unfiltered, because that's how I am, very direct, and my candor is like that. And, I wanted guys to have a place where they understood the truth about men's health and they felt safe to express themselves that way. And it's entertaining because I'm quite raunchy and I want people to have fun.
Yeah.
I don't like the stiff part of
Stiff like a boner.
like a boner.
Yeah.
The stiff part of medical conferences, I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm just like, you know what? Let's have a fun environment. So,
So we do what we do
and we
here.
can we can go into it later, but yeah. So
Well,
that's
tell
how
us
I got
about
into it.
tell us about Silverback coaching, right? Silverback
Yeah.
coaching. I got that right. So that when you spawned that off, when did that come into?
So I trained people in person for about 20 years.
Right.
And
In
then-
Connecticut?
And yep.
Yep.
So I've lived in Florida since 2021. And then obviously with 2020, it was very easy to just go completely online.
Right.
And I was doing half and half right before that. And now I work fully remote. I have 2 coaches that work for me.
Okay.
And we train predominantly men. We do have a few females online for nutrition and fitness. And then I facilitate hormone optimization through Merrick Health, which
Yep.
is a telemedicine company.
Yeah, they're
and-
badass.
Yeah.
I follow a lot of their doctors.
Yeah, they're great dudes.
Yeah, yeah.
So, collaboratively, we get guys to fully feel comfortable and function as a man. And I'm kind of the one that helps bridge that awkward conversation for them.
Yeah.
Because they don't really bring that up
Yeah.
normally.
I noticed that
So,
with guys, you have to kind of, make them feel comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you experienced that. You and
I
Matt.
experience it all the time in the
Madness
gym,
Fitness.
and I have to go up to the guys because I train guys 40 and up, and they always come up to me, telling me that they feel lethargic and tired and they can't burn fat as much, and that's when the conversation starts. And then later they start telling me about the ED issues or
Yep.
So I
Exactly.
recently just started talking more about prostate issues because a lot of it
Yeah.
not always hormones.
Low
A
dose
lot may
Cialis.
be something like a prostate that's causing ED issues or other issues that come with that.
Yeah, that's a good subject I like to have with Dr. Twyman. He turned me on to Dr. Twyman, so we're pretty intimate now. And so he talks about nitric
yeah.
oxide,
Yeah.
yeah, and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
So,
yeah,
but-
he spoke at Silverback last year.
Yeah, he's
and,
awesome.
And he's actually, and he'll admit this, he's gotten a lot more liberal with what he talks about, but he was a little bit more conservative in the sense that he would get mildly embarrassed when
Yeah.
I would bring up erection. And like
Yeah.
when you create an event, you need the sales page or the landing page to have all the topics. And so I just threw the topics on there if nobody had given them to me. And for his, it was like how your heart health affects your erection. But he just kept it.
Yeah.
And so like the day comes and he puts it in his slides, and I was like, Mike, you could have changed the title. and he's like, oh, I just thought you wanted that.
His face is red as that.
Because he knows
wall.
how you are.
Totally.
Yeah.
And so then ever since he's been on, very big time podcasts and everything,
Yeah.
and now he just talks about it. And I'm like, dude, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
It's so funny. He's like, well, it was because of you, you
Out
know?
of your shell.
And I'm like, that's why I normalize boner talk, because it has to be this open thing.
It's got to be. a
Women
thing.
are always talking about periods and all this stuff, and
Yeah.
it's like, guys don't go in the locker room. They're
Yeah.
like, yo, how was it this morning?
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
have morning
It's
wood?
it's
Did you
just
not?
that.
Like,
Right.
Yeah. So the name of this show is Non-Toxic Masculinity. And it was kind of like a hook,
I
right,
like
at
that.
first. But it is a real issue, right?
Yeah.
Right now. So you know that you understand what I'm talking about?
oh yeah,
What's going on there. So
I go into that.
I have a question. How does hormone optimization, or the lack thereof, do you think that has any role play in the non-toxic masculinity subject?
The non-toxic meaning like the suppression of
Yeah, like what you're
Yeah,
talking about. You're
like
already.
toxic.
I already know your answer because you're already leading down there. That's why I asked you the question.
yeah. So this is funny because I would bring this up in my live talks, even at Perform Better, and it would be under the umbrella of causes of low testosterone
Yeah.
and the suppression of men being men.
Right.
And I would bring up like the word toxic masculinity because men are so lost as to their role in society now.
Correct. Yeah.
And the younger trainers would stare at me and they're like, oh shit, this chick with the faux hawk is going to go off on a feminist rant.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, yo, I hate that term. And you just see like the relief.
Yeah.
Because it's stupid. Like,
It
I
is
think
stupid.
people can be toxic, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure when exactly like this whole thing started.
Yeah.
But, I asked my colleagues, my male colleagues, I'm like, let me ask you a question. Would you feel uncomfortable nowadays complimenting me like on my shirt for fear that I would label you as something
Like a
or turn it into a thing?
Sexual freak or something like
Right,
that,
right.
right?
It was, I think it was an Instagram poll too. I think it was like 80% of guys. They're terrified
Yeah,
to say anything
absolutely.
nice, or they don't know how to act.
Right.
Because am I supposed to be a man? Am I supposed to open the door? Or is Ali going to be like, I can open my own
That's a
door?
good
Yeah,
point.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there are instances like that.
Yeah.
And so then I asked the women on my page, I said, do you still appreciate chivalry? 90%. Yes. And I was like,
Thank
interesting.
goodness. Thank goodness for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like stuff like that. I think, now I'm 41, so where the era that I grew up, I still
You
appreciate
are not
that
41.
stuff. I am.
Come on.
Stop.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Looking good though.
Botox is a great thing.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You look amazing.
And I appreciate guys who take the lead. Decisive action.
Yeah, right.
Like if I say, hey, I'd love to do dinner, don't be like, where do you want to eat? What do
Yeah.
you want to do?
Be a
Take
man,
charge.
man.
Just-
Be a man.
Yeah, take
Exactly.
charge.
Plan it up.
A lot of my girlfriends are like, why can't guys take charge now?
Yeah, we're wussified.
I think it's because they don't know how. Because
I don't
either
get
they
that.
grew up in
I
a
don't
certain
either,
way.
It was
bro.
like when I was younger, no lie. I've always been into bodybuilding right after high school, but I had no issue telling a girl in the gym, like if she had nice glutes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was because
Did you say glutes, though?
I did say glutes. If there was, because they would look at me and hey, the guy knows what he's talking about. He's in, obviously I was a competitive bodybuilder.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you have that confidence that, which guys don't have as much, they're scared to approach women. And
Yeah.
I used to go as far as to say, your glutes look amazing. And I would get a great response back. Not that I was trying to hit on her, just
Right.
saying, look, you look amazing. And
But do you-
some guys are scared to do that.
Do
Yeah.
you think the fitness industry today and the bodybuilding culture today is a contributor to the non-toxic masculinity campaign with the way that it all is in the gym with the Instagram
Oh,
heroes? and
yeah.
all? You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
What about you? You think that?
Totally.
Yeah.
Do you think the
little
bodybuilding
bit.
culture
Just social media and
influences the
Yeah,
non-toxic?
social media.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like back in the day, like if 3 dudes went to the gym, you would have like everyone surrounding the bench press, and no matter how fucked up your shoulder would be, you'd still bench.
Right.
You guys would yell at each other.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like there was a culture that
Yeah.
in the gym environment, it doesn't exist anymore. Rarely.
Rarely. You got to
But
find
there
an old
was
school
a
gym.
culture. Yeah, you have to find an old
Can't
school
grunt.
dirty
You
gym.
can't come in on too masculine. Like some gyms, like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say the name, but they'll kick you out if you grunt.
Oh,
Like-
yeah.
Or if
Oh,
you
yeah.
wanna go too
I wish
heavy.
they'd kick you out if you set up a tripod. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple of them gyms. And they're all over. They're like this freaking studio,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
But when you trained with your friends back then, like literally, that was training. There was
Yeah.
no cell phones. There was music that was
Yep.
loud.
Hard
No
me-
shoes.
Yep.
Nowadays, 3 dudes in the gym, all 3 of them have headphones on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
talk to each other.
Nope.
And
They're on
they're-
their phone.
Yeah.
This
That's
true.
drives me crazy, bro.
It's true.
This drives me bananas.
100%.
It,
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah.
I went to, I was at MI40 in Tampa a couple weeks ago doing some video shooting. And I was in love. And I was like, I could live here. And I was there for 8 hours.
You mean their gym environments?
the
down there?
environment, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
the culture
It's
that
old
doesn't
school. Right.
exist.
You been there?
I haven't been in a while
Okay.
to Miami.
You gotta go
at
back.
a gym, not down there. It's
People
typically
just,
the party.
they get you.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's food, there's weight belts all over the place. People are just dropping trowel, like
People are
practicing
eating
their
in between
posing.
sets.
Yeah.
Yeah, like food chalk is allowed. God
Yeah.
forbid. Some gyms you can't even bring a backpack
Right,
on the
right.
floor.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I do think that has contributed somewhat because you can't like have a real lifting gym.
Mm-hmm.
If a set is hard and you're screaming,
Yeah.
it's not a library.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it
Exactly.
helps. It
And
helps.
that's what they've
definitely
done,
helps.
honestly. They've taken the testosterone out of the gym.
Yeah. So, Ali,
Make America high
So to
tea
speak.
again.
Yeah. Exactly.
Ali, as a male hormone expert on the biological factors that can influence behaviors associated with toxic masculinity, I guess we just talked about that, the biological factors that can kind of affect the non-toxic masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be like what? Like you saying, low testosterone, gyno maybe.
Yeah, a lot of it has to do with it starts in the womb. So
Yeah,
it
you
would
gotta-
used to be like far fetched, but if you've heard of Dr. Shanna Swan, who is a researcher, she was actually on Joe Rogan recently.
Yeah.
She did this landmark study in 2017 that showed sperm production has decreased almost 60%.
There's a lot of factors contributing
Wow.
to that. Yeah,
Yeah.
cell phone, water.
All this stuff. Like I used
Yeah.
to make fun of my friends who'd walk around with like glass containers.
Right.
And I'd be like, oh, you're like tree huggers and stuff.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like that's not necessary, and now it's actually very necessary.
Right.
We can't avoid exposure to chemicals that are called endocrine disrupting chemicals that
Yeah.
basically act as hormones in our bodies. But she talks about how something called phthalate exposure.
Yeah.
It's spelled like
Phthalate,
PTTA, whatever. Those chemicals, if a woman who is pregnant with a man or a male fetus is exposed to that, she can affect his sperm production as an adult.
Yeah.
No
Which
way.
is like, what?
Wow, it is
Yeah.
crazy.
But yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy to think. Now, also exposure to these chemicals has caused men to be born more feminized, maybe one ovary, one testicle, or something that's going to suppress their
Wow.
production as a guy.
Their manhood, yeah.
And so they have less androgen exposure in the womb. So now they grow up with high anxiety, low testosterone,
Yeah.
sexual
So is
performance
this,
anxiety.
is this chemical, has it been around for a while, or is this something new? That
Yeah, it's
just-
been around for a while,
been around,
but
yeah.
it's like inundated in the plastics.
Yep.
And everything plastic. And it's ironic that you're mentioning that, Ali, because I've been on this campaign. I went to a conference and they introduced a new product. It was a female product, tampons and pads. And they did a research and did a demonstration right there showing, like, name brands, I won't name any, how much plastic was in there. And the female's putting it right on,
Yeah,
on her genitalia
right.
where there's max absorption. And so obviously the new product was all, biodegradable.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You
That
know,
makes sense.
holistic.
Do you ever
So-
go to
wow.
CVS?
all the time.
You know when they give you a receipt, it's like a scarf.
Oh,
Yeah,
just
that's
how
it.
long it is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's BPA all over the receipt, and I would scare the shit out of my friends. I'd be like, "Don't touch the receipt."
Wow.
They're like, "Whenever you talked about that in a seminar, I never touch the receipts anymore. I like throw it back at them." But
my
it is
God.
true. Like it's hot and wet. And it's full of like BPA, and that
it's
gets in
just
your
so
hand.
crazy. Like I saw on the news that there was fruit in the store, and if it had a certain serial number that started with 4, it has chemicals in it and they're telling people not to get it. But I mean, how long has this stuff been going on? I mean, because
Wow.
news,
A minute,
it takes
yeah.
them a while to catch on to something, but we could have been eating this crap for
Long time.
a long time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and it's bad here in the
It's
States.
got
Yeah, we're very sedentary. A lot of these chemicals are not allowed in Europe.
Not in Europe, no.
Wow.
Their cornflakes are way different than our cornflakes. Even
You
cornflakes.
see the strawberries they sell in Walmart? They're like this damn big now.
Yeah.
Like, and it scares me. I mean, that's
You
all
should
they
be
have, but I'm
scared.
thinking like, what in the hell are they injecting?
You
these
basically
things
have to
with?
have your own farm now.
Yeah.
You just have to shop
Basically.
Aldi. That's where you gotta go.
Oh, we got
Aldi?
Aldi doesn't let any of those chemicals in their food. The food that they make and they sell, they don't let any of the chemicals in.
Oh,
in
Really?
Aldi. In Aldi.
I didn't know that.
If they sell name brand like Doritos or whatever, they're normal. But if it's like Aldi's version of Doritos, it's zero chemicals that are of the
Yeah,
same. They have the same EU rules at Aldi all over.
Yeah, so you're European
Wow.
company.
I
No
did not
wonder
know.
their brands are weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're
They
weird,
do
but
have
they're
weird,
healthy.
like off.
I'm gonna go.
off
I've never
beat-
been in there. I've just Instacarted.
Bring a
from them.
quarter. Just make sure you bring a quarter. Otherwise, you can't be card.
Oh yeah, that's right. You do
That
have
could
to
be a
have
good
quarter.
thing. It's like Target.
What's the time?
I don't need a cart.
We're good. So I was thinking, well, Al, I had a question actually. Now I know the hormone therapy is like with the testosterone and stuff like that. What do you feel about HCG and combining it with the testosterone therapy? Do you think that's something good? Because I did hear that too much HCG could affect the man's prostate or cause, I don't know. So I'm trying to learn more about
Yeah.
HCG. I hear it's good, but what do you think about combining those two, HCG and testosterone? Is that
So that used to be given just automatically
Right.
as a protocol at many clinics. So HCG is a pregnancy hormone. Men don't make it.
Right.
It is used to stimulate testosterone production from the testicles so that it also keeps sperm production alive
right?
as well. So if a man is concerned about fertility, that can be useful.
Okay.
They've made it. Government's made it a little bit harder to obtain. So a lot of clinics have substituted other
I've
things.
noticed that too. Yep.
Right. Not necessary. So usually that conversation has to be had. Many guys have conceived on testosterone replacement. So I would say it's not absolutely necessary right away.
Right.
Because not every man feels good on it.
Yeah.
Some guys use it because it does stimulate luteinizing hormone and keeps the testicles producing testosterone. It also keeps the fullness.
Yeah.
Because if guys go on TRT, then
They get the
testicles can shrink.
atrophy.
Yeah. And I'm like,
Shrinkage.
listen, why are you worried about that? Number one, everything else looks bigger.
Right.
Yeah, but
Number
that's a
two,
real deal, though.
it is a real
the
deal.
stress, and then you can compound the problems, right? If they're mentally getting stressed out about it.
Yeah.
But
Got
they
it.
just get like I tell them I'm a woman. Listen, it gets in the way. Like, do you ever see like on someone's dating profile like I'm a ball girl?
No.
Or I'm a 3.5 baller, or
Yeah.
a 4 centimeter
Like
ball.
I mean, ask any woman. We don't care.
Wow.
You know, so it's like that's one of the things. I have a couple guys that use it for that purpose, and I
Just to keep
The
things
Tease them.
full.
Keep
Yeah.
the fullness.
Yeah.
they're like,
Especially
oh, my
for
wife.
older guys, because
Okay.
older guys start getting the sag as they get older, and they want to keep things tight and full, and you know what I mean. And,
Yeah,
and
that's
that kind of helps.
There's something called scrotox, which is Botox.
I've heard about that.
Yeah.
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 You can
These
actually
are things I
nip
cannot
tuck. It's
personally
like a nip
talk on,
tuck
but
And
down
the O
there.
shot, P shot, all that stuff helps with
Yep.
that too sometimes. So
Does it
we
really?
do those at the clinic. But
Yeah.
to answer the question, it's case by case.
Yeah.
It's a case by case. Like she said, virilization is a age, purpose, mindset. There's a lot of factors that go into whether to deploy that or not.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a
Yeah.
good question.
Yep. I like to keep that combo if I'm on TRT because I don't.
Do you get
I
that question a lot?
No, because most people don't know about HCG.
Yeah.
I was told to take it after cycles back in the day
Yeah.
because it would kick your natural testosterone back in after a cycle, and I never did. I don't know if that affected me later in
Yeah.
life, but yeah,
Does-
working on things
So
now.
are there some cases at Merrick where they just prescribe HCG and no TRT to boost TRT? Because
No.
some clinics do that. We get some.
monotherapy,
Yeah, some we get some patients that
yeah.
are traumatized from that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, or
it's
they get the sack full of goodies. The
starter pack, I
yeah,
call
the
it.
starter
Yeah.
pack.
An
they-
Astrozole,
yeah,
Ganadarelin, and
yeah.
TRT. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare with that. Oh, the estrogen war is just never ending. And that came from the bodybuilding world.
Yeah.
But yes, there are discussions around that, like same with Clomid, monotherapy, and everything.
Going
And
at it around.
my position on that is if, you know, a diabetic needs insulin, you're not going to have them eat more protein to make a complicated route to create insulin. They're going to get insulin.
Yeah.
If you need testosterone, just use testosterone.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely. Keep it simple, stupid, right?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I understand, like, a lot of guys, they don't understand their options either.
No.
You know, some places still do pellets.
Yeah.
And the patches and, you know, androgel. And so, honestly, they don't understand that they can just do a cream if they don't like needles.
Right.
Or injections are really not that scary. They think it's like the horse needle
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
that you see like a catheter.
All the time.
Getting an
All the
epidural
time.
or something.
Yeah, some guys don't even feel it, you
Yeah.
know? So it's just understanding what their options are. And that's honestly part of the reason why I like to do what I do, so I can explain this to them. Because they're
It's so surprising.
Yeah.
I mean, because you have your phone right there. You have access, and people don't look stuff up.
yeah, but you know
what I mean?
what? It's still, it'll say it'll kill you.
Yeah,
Because there's
right.
so much conflicting,
Yeah.
you know, information. So they're
And
like,
that's
I've
what they
read that I'm
say.
going to die.
Well, I don't want to have a heart attack, and then he's like 300 pounds. I'm like, you look like you're gonna have a heart attack anyway.
Yeah.
Like he's worried about taking testosterone.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and he's like massively overweight.
It's
so
all the bro science.
yeah,
It's literally one of the safest medications.
it is.
It
It's
shouldn't
a
even-
hormone.
Yeah.
It shouldn't even be controlled.
No.
It shouldn't even be controlled.
No. Well, now that with the popularity of the clinics now more people understand. You know, hey, I need testosterone to stay optimal. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
back in the day, it was all steroids or, you know. So now it's more mainstream. You know, so
Yeah, but the funny thing is, like, you think, you know, women go through menopause and they go on hormone replacement, and no one's like, "You're cheating.
Oh,
You're on
yeah.
steroids."
Exactly.
Like, yo,
It's
women
just-
on birth control. Birth control is steroids.
Yeah.
but
It's
It's
nobody
hormones. Yeah, it's
says they're on
hormones.
Yeah.
PEDs.
Yeah.
Like, come on,
yeah.
it's synthetic. Literally, the epitome
It
of
really
a
is.
PED
Yeah.
is a synthetic hormone, and that's what birth control is.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Well, my wife is actually, she had cancer as a kid. I know I explained this before, but she doesn't produce any hormones whatsoever. So she's been on birth control since high school.
wow.
Yeah, she's 34 now. So now she's on the low dose testosterone because her body's not producing anything. So
Yeah.
now she's taking low dose testosterone and she's still on birth control for now until we can figure out what she can take to bring her estrogen back up. Because without these drugs, she's on menopause. Her bone density and everything else will just disappear because she's not producing.
Of course, yeah.
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 Yeah. So she has to be on hormones.
Is
I
she,
noticed a difference too.
Yeah, she doing injections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She didn't want to do the pellets or the rub-on. She's like, nah, just put it.
That's what I do.
Yeah, she's badass.
Yeah. Hey, you got a summit coming up, another summit coming up at the end of this year, right?
I do.
Yeah,
Awesome.
you want to tell us about that?
It's in November in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
The 9th through the 11th. I can't freaking wait. It's the second one, so now I know, all right, I know what works, what doesn't
Right.
work. It actually attracted a very large amount of individuals from the medical community.
Wow.
I thought I was going to get like Gen Pop dudes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Right.
All these doctors now are like, can I speak? Can I speak? And I'm like, all right, chill. Like, I don't know you,
Yeah.
you know. But we have a very large amount of physicians and fitness and nutrition experts
Right.
that I trust, people that I've known forever. And I've realized the more events that I've attended and spoken at, going and listening to 7 hours of talks is so boring.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're going to do like morning formal talks, but then I'm going to do fireside chats and debate style talks and
Right.
like what you mentioned with HCG.
Yeah.
Let's have, you know, healthy debate. Most of the guys are pretty much on the same page with a lot of things, but here's a case study. How would you guys all, you know,
Right.
attack it? What are your thoughts on this delivery method? Blah, blah, blah. Stuff like that's way more engaging,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
entertaining.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that, eat barbecue, maybe play
So
some
it's like
games.
a panel style. So you're gonna have
Yeah.
all the doctors lined up and you're
So
on
it won't
stage.
be everyone, because if you have to like go through 10 different people, then
Yeah.
that gets crazy.
Right.
So it'll be like maximum 4 to 5.
Okay.
And I'll have the questions prepped. It'll be
Gotcha.
strategic, and nobody will be allowed to hog the mic.
Wow.
So we'll, you know, rapid fire, and they'll give me some of their most asked questions, because some of them are pretty big on TikTok and whatnot. And, you
Yeah.
know, it'll be very informative for both anyone who's just an enthusiast, or
Yeah.
if you're a coach or a medical practitioner. So
I might
And I
need
opened
you
it up
at
to
my
women.
event. I have a big event coming up in September.
Yeah, that's what I was going
You
to say.
you would be awesome there.
I have nothing.
It's
in
at the Orange
September.
County Convention Center, September 16th.
I know where that is.
one, so you know exactly where it is. So, and the cool thing is on that month, Halloween Horror Nights starts. So a lot of people are excited about that. Anyway, I'm a big Universal Studios fan. So it'd be great to have you at the expo. So,
So
I have
it's
over.
the World Expo.
It's the Florida Fit Expo.
Florida Fit Expo.
Florida Fit Expo.
Oh, yeah?
I have over 20 sporting events. I have the Police versus Firefighter Games, World Strongman, CrossFit. So I'm going to have a whole demographic of athletes, and especially guys that are 40 and over that still compete, that don't know anything about hormone optimization. So it'd be great to have someone like you there.
No, cool.
Because something we could discuss.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So how can people, and who's your ideal client? Who are you looking for? Who's your ideal client? If people want to get some coaching.
The general avatar that we tend to attract are guys who roughly maybe 25% body fat or lower. And I say that because that's literally who we're dealing with, is guys who have been compromised hormonally from overtraining, under eating, not necessarily past competitors, but maybe military, CEOs, dudes who've just been through the gamut with stress and everything.
Right.
And they basically are trying to get more jacked and shreddy, but they're not eating enough. They're not training the right way. Those who are ready to commit and invest and do the thing. So we don't coddle, we educate.
Right.
We will get you the results, but you have to be willing to do the work.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so those are the guys that we like to bring on.
That's a good avatar. Now, how can they get a hold of you?
The best way is slide in the DMs on IG at the Ali Gilbert, ALI. And for now, that's the best way.
Yeah, until you get your website.
Our websites,
Yeah.
it's
Under-
being completely redone. You can go to silverbacksummit.com if you actually want to sign up for the event or find out more info on the event.
Yeah, or just check out kind of the program a little bit. People will just want to see and touch it a little bit.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they
My
can-
IG page has that's where all my content gets posted. That's where before and afters, anything having to do with our coaching and stuff like that.
Cool.
Do you do any in-person in any of the states that you reside in, or is it all online?
All online.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's the best way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Can
yeah.
reach more people. We have international clients. It's cool. The TRT laws are laborious across the seas, but
Yeah.
we're working
Yeah.
on that. I do have practitioners in the UK and Australia. So
Oh, wow. International.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Lavroni.
Yep. It is.
you do look like
You know who
it.
Kevin Levroni is?
Of course I
All right.
do, yes.
Little
Yeah,
Lavroni.
Little Levrone. That's what they used to call me back in the day.
There's a little resemblance.
Yeah.
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 Now he looks more like me now because he's 170 pounds.
Yeah.
He lost a lot.
He
It's
did.
so crazy how these guys, when they get off, they
Yeah.
just transform into out of their superhuman body to back to mere mortal.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's like these guys are 300 pounds on the off-season bodybuilding, then they get out of bodybuilding and they're back to like this. It's just crazy
You
to
seen
see.
Phil Heath though?
Phil still looks good,
He's still
but
big.
Phil's
He-
taking
he's
Phil's
still
on
big.
hormone therapy right now.
Yeah.
Phil's on more than.
Yeah.
Them pipes are big still, bro.
Yeah. He might be coming back though. So let's see.
Oh, really? Is
Yeah.
that the word on the street?
That's what he's hinting. Yeah.
Really?
It'd be good
Did
to
you
see.
hear that?
I did not.
Yeah.
I did not, but
Yeah.
I met him at an event last April, or this past April, and he was standing right next to me, and I was like, damn, his arms are huge.
Just a
Huge.
beast.
He's a good
Probably
guy.
looked like a creep, because I'm just like, no,
And
very
I'm looking
creepy.
at him the same way as you are.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like a creepy
Yeah, well, it's like,
12-year-old boy fan.
every dude
boy
wants
band
to
fan.
get jacked to
Yeah,
attract chicks, and I'm like, you're not going to. You're gonna have every man in the gym come up to you and ask you, questions.
Dude, I used to go to clubs downtown, and I'd get guys would come up to me more than girls. Dude, where do you work out at? What type of protein? I'm like, I'm trying to pick up some girls, bro. What do you, he wants to talk to me about protein and where do I lift at? And
Yeah.
I won't do that.
Yeah,
It's a serious problem.
it is. It is. Yes.
Yeah. Joe. Man, Ali, it's been awesome having you on the show. Thank you again for coming out.
Of course, this is fun.
It was awesome
You're
to meet you.
so
Yes.
Thank you.
intelligent, so smart. And just one more time, tell our fans the name of your organization.
The Silverback Summit, silverbacksummit.com, or if you want to coach with us, it's Silverback Coaching by Ali Gilbert. Find me on the IG at the Ali Gilbert.
Yeah, and if any of my practitioner friends, colleagues I highly recommend checking out the summit in Austin. That's in September.
It's in November 9th through 11th. And
Great time to be in Austin. It's a cool city if
Yeah.
you've never been there. Going to be worth all the money that you spend on that. Tune in next week when the crew and I, hopefully we have Vic back and Pete back.
I miss those guys, man.
Yeah, man, they holding it down at the office.
Gotcha.
But next week we're going to talk about the UFC, the WWE acquisition, PED's usage in sports, and how that is looked frowned upon by the USADA. Do you deal with them any, or WADA?
I don't.
Mad love, big hug. Take care of yourself, body, mind, and spirit. If you need any help, give Fusion Regenerative Therapies a call. Peace, we out.